Mojang has just released the brand new Pale Gardens and the Creaking mob in today's Minecraft Java snapshots. It'll be releasing for Minecraft Bedrock betas very soon. We just saw these brand new features 4 days ago at Minecraft Live, and now it's already in game and you can go play with it. If you watch Minecraft Live, then you pretty much already know the basics of these features, but now that they're in game, we get to play around with them, experiment, and take a proper first look at everything new shown at Minecraft Live. So this is part of the new winter drop experiment toggle on Minecraft Java, and it's probably going to be the same on Bedrock. So this means that these features will be releasing sometime in the holiday season, likely in December. So of course we have the brand new Pale Garden biome, which is looking fantastic in person. This is a pretty rare biome, and this is the largest one that I could find. Nothing on the scale of the one shown at Minecraft Live. So I had to travel thousands and thousands of blocks to find even this pretty medium scale size biome, and this is pretty much always next to dark oak forest as well. It is a variation of the dark oak forest. So you're unlikely to just stumble upon this biome as soon as you spawn into your world, for example. Now in this biome you can find all of the new blocks, which we'll be taking a look at in a moment, and notably there are no passive animal spawns in this biome. A really cool feature of this biome is once you actually travel a little bit into the biome, the sky color changes to this pale, dark, mysterious color that we have here. So if you keep looking at it, we travel out of the biome, nice blue sunny day, you go into the biome, and it gets dark and creepy. So we got 5 new blocks in this biome. Of course, you're going to be getting a lot of this pale moss and pale moss carpets all over the ground. And we also got the pale hanging moss growing from the trees. This is like a new, unique type of block in the game. Of course, we got the pale oak logs and the pale oak leaves as well. So as far as new blocks go, pretty much all of these are just a retexture except for the pale hanging moss, which is closest to the weeping vines in the nether. So of course, these are pretty similar. You can just bone meal them growing down and they grow a bunch. Now you cannot climb up these like you can with the weeping vines. So when you have these, you can simply just bone meal them and they grow down by 1 for every piece of bone meal, as you can see there. Now you can just like punch these things and they'll break off. You don't need silk touch or shears or anything like that. Now even if you break the block that is holding them, they'll also just pop off as an item. So these are super easy to get. So then we have the pale moss block and the pale moss carpets. Now interestingly, these are pretty much just like straight up a retexture of the regular moss and the regular moss carpets. It's the same exact block. They're the same thing. But interestingly, they also come with the same mechanics. So if you bone meal a pale moss block, that's actually going to spread. And as you see, we got ourselves a bunch more of it and a bunch more of these carpets too. Now, I don't know how good that's going to be for farming or anything, but it doesn't look like it's going to be hard to farm this stuff. So there's not really anything special about the pale moss block itself, besides the fact that you can spread it and bone meal it. But the pale moss carpets are a little bit interesting. As you see, they actually spread up the sides of blocks. This is not something that we've ever seen before in Minecraft. That's a brand new thing. And then, of course, we can actually bone meal this carpet as well, and it will spread up the walls even further. You can't bone meal this little thing here, so 2 is like the maximum. This is basically like a nice carpet and then some wallpaper. So my first thought is, can we get this to go downwards? Like we put it on some string and it appears that it just goes upwards. And then I guess if we bone meal that, it just keeps going upwards. There's definitely a lot that we can do with this. Now it appears to always be the same texture. And then of course we can like break off this little section right here with the hitbox that's got. Now if you try and break off of these sides right here, as you see, it breaks off the entire carpet. So this is like the lowest that you can have it. There's no limit to how many sides it can spread up. Like we can have this thing spread up all 4 sides in this little thing right here. So these pale oak trees are basically a reskin of the dark oak trees, just like how we expected. And with that comes all the best features of dark oak trees that we all love. Yay! Mainly the fact that you need 4 saplings to grow these things, and then if we bone meal that, as you see, it grows up into a tree. Now, there's a small chance of this thing to actually naturally spread some moss around the tree when it grows. It's not 100% of the time, but occasionally you will get some of this moss blocks, so you don't even need to collect it and bring it with you from the forest. You just need to collect a bunch of these saplings. Because we still have the same drop rate from dark oak trees, you can get like 3 to 5 saplings per tree. So you might want to be breaking these leaves with Fortune 3. Now, because these are basically just a reskin of dark oak trees, that means that our existing dark oak tree farms should pretty much work for these things. Now, as you see, they are slightly different. Sometimes you have some missing logs up top. Occasionally, you have a carpet in there. But thankfully, we shouldn't need to redesign from the ground up a brand new like 4x4 tree farm. So overall, we have 23 new blocks in this one update. Of course, the full pale new wood set here. We got the log, we got the wood type, we got the stripped versions of both of those that look so good. Of course, we got our planks, slabs, and stairs, fences and walls. This spider is not included in the demonstration. We got a door right here. Oh my god, these doors look so good. I love the little, you know, the metal pieces and the nice little handle. Great. The trapdoors are pretty solid too. Buttons, pressure plates, the hanging signs look a little bit darker than the rest of the wood set. I guess that might be normal. And then, of course, we got the sign and the boats as well. Now, all of this kind of looks a little bit like pearlescent, just because it's got all this little bits of, like, white flakiness in it. I don't know. It just looks really good, though. And then, of course, we have the nature blocks back here with the moss, sapling, the leaves, and then the hanging moss, and, of course, the moss block. And then there is the beautiful Creaking Heart as well, which we will get into all the mechanics of in just a moment. Don't you worry about it. But, as you can see, they are so cool. Oh, interesting. If you break this thing to kill a Creaking, that actually gives you the Monster Hunter achievement. That's kind of cool. I guess you do defeat a mob. Now, there's still a bit more to explore in the biome, like all the ambience and sounds. So I'm just going to take a little walk through here, pump up the sounds for you guys, and just take a listen. As you can see, it is pretty spooky in here. I just think we need some, like, leaves rustling or something like that. Maybe a little bit of howling, because why not? Or, like, you know, a random bird croaking. That would be pretty cool, but let's go ahead and finally take a look at the Creaking. So the deal is, any one of these trees could summon a Creaking at you at any moment. So if you wander into this biome, you might see or hear one spawn in. As you see, we got 3 over here. And then, yeah, if you look away from them, it's gonna be a problem, because then they can start to move. Now, they make a lot of noise when you look away from them. So if we go into survival real quick and then look away. Oh no. Yeah, they get closer every time. Let's just give them a second to properly catch up. Oh, hi, how you doing, buddy? Now, if you try to attack them, it doesn't do any damage, of course, but we get all these particles telling, hey, I'm trying to demonstrate how to kill you guys. Yeah, so we get all these particles showcasing us where the Creaking Heart is. Now, you still get normal hostile mob spawns in this biome, so that's going to be something to contend with while you are here. Yeah, if you're trying to fight like a skeleton with all these guys, that's going to be a problem. Okay, so there is our Creaking Heart, as you can see there. Now, it takes a minute to break if you just have a sword, but as you can see, once we break this thing, then one of those guys will die, as you can see. So they can only attack you when you're not looking, and I'm kind of not sure. Oh, jeez, that's why we weren't getting attacked. They were being smart and letting a creeper do the work for them. So they will chase you. Like, if you run off, they will just keep coming after you. There's one down here. He's been following me for a minute. Now, I'm not wearing any armor right now, and the dude only does about 1.5 hearts, so I guess trees just don't really hit that hard. But if you have a bunch of these things, and if you're not paying attention, they can definitely kind of wreck you. Now, remember, I have night vision during all this as well, so it is going to be a lot more spooky for you to deal with in survival. But look at this texture. Man, these guys are so cool. I do hope that eventually we get like a variable texture for these guys. That way they don't all look exactly the same, because it feels like as a trio monster, they should all be a little bit unique. So there is actually a reason to get the Creaking Heart as well, because now you can summon a Creaking wherever you want in your Minecraft world, as long as you have this and a couple of logs. So of course the Creaking Heart is a directional block. You can place it vertically or horizontally there. Now this needs logs above and below it, so if you have it on its side, it needs a log to both sides of it for it to actually summon in a Creaking. As you can see here, it is powered now. So as you see, we have a Creaking over here now, but if you remove that log, it doesn't churn this off. that only turns off if you break it. So we can also go ahead and turn on this one over here. We'll get another creaking to spawn in. So this is going to be great for so many different, you know, maps and mini games and decked out and all kinds of stuff. And of course, the creaking doesn't take any damage. So as long as you tell people that they can't break blocks, then they can't do anything about it. Now, as soon as it becomes daytime, these guys do die and disappear, and as you see, the Creaking Heart also turns off as well. Okay, this just got interesting. So observers can detect when the Creaking Heart activates. As you can see here, if we have an observer facing this thing, it is going to power as soon as the Creaking Heart turns on. Now, this thing turns on whenever it has, you know, the appropriate blocks next to it. It doesn't matter if it's day or night. So the observer will also detect when it turns nighttime and the creaking starts to activate. It doesn't detect when it spawns a guy, even though it kind of looks like it does here because it's nighttime and it spawned at the same time. So I wanted to see if we can force this guy to spawn where we want, just kind of a rudimentary test. If we turn this thing on, it does activate, but we don't get a creaking immediately. Now, I have seen him spawn up here, but it appears to just be like a little bit slow, so maybe you just need like a lot more blocks for this guy to find a valid spot, you know? Oh, yep, there we go. So it can take a little while for this guy to spawn in if you have a very small area or something like that. So let's see what this guy is made of. We're gonna run some tests and see if he takes any damage from anything. Now, interestingly, if you one-punch him in creative, he just dies, and he doesn't drop anything, so there's no reason to farm him, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to. Step 1, lava. He doesn't care, even though he's made out of wood. Doesn't seem to be bothered by fire. I have discovered their ultimate weakness. Other plants! Look at this. So you can push them with water streams, and they just die instantly on cactus. So, I mean, that's useful, right? Now, can we just launch these guys with TNT cannons? No. That's so sad. And can we suffocate them to death? Yes, yes we can. So as you can see, we have a multitude of ways to kill these guys, along with just straight up harming potions. That'll just kill them all. And yes, I'm in survival. And then we also have the harming arrows as well. That also kills these guys instantly. And then if you just use it straight up like a regular bow and arrow, yep, that also kills them too. So it turns out that the creaking that you get from the heart is very different than the spawn egg guys. As you see, this one doesn't take any damage from any of the potions or any of the other ways that I showed. They just happen to be very different for no good reason. So a few details about the creaking. These guys do not get into boats as long as they're spawned from an actual creaking heart. As you can see there, they also can't go through a nether portal. So I guess, you know, just go to the nether. You'll be safe there. They also don't get into minecarts, as you can see. So there are some limitations, like you can't just pick them up and take them with you. Also, they do not care about light levels, so even if you light up the forest, they will still spawn at nighttime, which is actually pretty great because that means that we can light up our mini games and stuff where we want to use these guys. And they've finally expanded on the jack-o'-lantern like pumpkin mechanics. So if we go ahead and put this thing on our head, we can look at this guy and he will actually still be allowed to move. So as you can see, we can look at this guy and he's actually allowed to move around. And then if we go into survival mode, he should actually fight us. Oh, there he goes. Yep, okay, so he's a very angry boy, and you can see his walking mechanics. Okay, he looks really dumb. I would recommend that you do this in survival, because this is fantastic. Okay, everything is great. Nobody worry about a thing. I don't know if I can take him serious with that walking mechanic. No, that animation, though. Bro, no, you don't have any knees. Oh, jeez, okay, this is bad. Yeah, I can't take this guy seriously anymore. Okay. You've had enough fun, Mr. Cheese. Let's get this stupid thing off. I love it. Never change. Please don't change. So interestingly, these blocks actually are the things that give us the ambient atmospheric sounds. It's not the biome itself. So if you place down one of these creaking hearts and then it has logs on all sides of it, then it's going to emit its own set of eerie sounds no matter where you place it down in the world. As you can see there, we have the actual creaking sounds. And the same thing applies to the moss as well. As long as it's hanging from a pale log or pale leaf, then it'll start to emit some eerie sounds, which is pretty cool, actually. Yeah, so it's very subtle, but every now and again you'll hear a little bit of the Pale Garden sounds, which is fantastic. I love it. So again, this is currently just on Java Edition, but it will be coming to Bedrock betas very soon, and then it's going to be released in the full game sometime during the holiday season. So if you like this video, then drop a like, share it around, and subscribe for more Minecraft news, and thank you so much for watching.